So Fortnite Chapter 5 has finally ended, and thank God. I'm not gonna lie, this was my least favorite chapter out of the other 4, and I think most people can agree with me on that. Chapter 5 is a chapter that made some people lose interest in Fortnite, or I should say made Fortnite lose itself, from many unnecessary changes like the locker UI that's now non-user friendly, to the movement changing after 6 years to now where you're jogging, to even the item shop being more of an AI clustered mess. Fortnite Chapter 5 was stepping away from what made Fortnite. Now, I'm not going to be another Fortnite YouTuber who just negatively talks about Fortnite being lazy in Chapter 5 because of blah blah blah, as you probably see multiple of those already in your recommendations, because there were some things that I did like in Chapter 5, but obviously there were quite negatives about Chapter 5 as well. So I will be starting off with the Metaverse Modes, as that's the huge thing Fortnite was promoting for Chapter 5, and then I will talk about the seasons and the other features or stuff in Chapter 5 later, but anyways, let's begin. So the Metaverse Modes, Lego Fortnite, Fortnite Festival, and Rocket Racing have first been teased in the Big Bang event, and while it was cool to see this first look at these upcoming modes, in the long run though, I don't know if these modes would even last, because don't get me wrong, the first couple of weeks of these modes being out, they were cool and fun because they were new, you had to explore on what these modes were, but after playing these modes for a bit, you sort of kind of get bored with them, and this is where I talk about the specific issues about each mode, starting off with Lego Fortnite. Lego Fortnite has been successful out of the whole Metaverse modes, having millions of players play the mode for a good reason. It's pretty much Minecraft but with Lego and Fortnite combined. You start exploring the crafting, the animals, the enemies, the NPCs, and the village that you have to upgrade in order to get bonuses like more NPCs, access to more builds, and more. After you upgrade your village to the max level, you now ask yourself, now what? Lego Fortnite Survival doesn't have any type of goal. The only goal is really upgrading your village, and even that is not really an interesting thing to keep you playing. Sure, it might have worked for the first couple of times of you playing Lego Fortnite, but over time, it's just boring. They even added a expert mode, so when you die, you can't play that world anymore, similar to Minecraft. But again, there's no point of playing that mode when my only goal is to upgrade my village. But I will admit, the big updates they had for Lego Fortnite, like the Clown Bone Star Wars event, did make me want to play the game again, which honestly, Lego Fortnite should have had this sort of big update in the beginning after the mode being out for a couple of weeks. But enough of Lego Fortnite, and I will come back to that later, and now talk about Fortnite Festival. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about this mode, as it's literally Guitar Hero, and I actually like this mode a lot. The fact that I get introduced to many songs, I can play my favorite songs, and I can listen to a song and realize it's a song I've been trying to figure out for years on what that song was called, and I think the mode has improved over time. But we gotta talk about the pricing of the battle pass and the instruments. The festival pass is $20. Now, I wouldn't have a problem with that, as I understand about the license of songs, but when you have a pass like the Karol G one having really nothing to offer in the premium pass other than the songs and the skin, which would be way cheaper in the shop, it feels like a scam, because season 1, season 2's, and season 3's pass were definitely worth the $20. Season 1 had instruments that looked good, songs that were iconic like Gangnam Style and Poison, and had The Weeknd as a skin. Season 2 features Lady Gaga with the pass having 7 songs, 3 emotes, some more instruments, and other stuff. And season 3 features Metallica, and in the pass includes 4 skins. That alone already makes it worth the $20. I just want Fortnite to continue making the festival pass worth your $20 like the other 3 and not the Karol G one. And I would talk a lot about the instrument prices, but they already fixed that, so kudos to Fortnite. And last is Rocket Racing. Do I have to say much other than the problematic bugs, overpriced cars, and the grinding rank system? Nah. I guess if I had to rate these Metaverse modes perfectly, is that they're a unfinished product. These modes were taken out the oven a little too early. And I'm not going to exaggerate like everybody else, like these Fortnite YouTubers, and say that these modes shouldn't exist, because I do think these modes have potential, at least Lego Fortnite and Fortnite Festival. They just need to have something and more improvements to make people want to play these modes again. And that's why probably in a couple of days or next week, I'll have a video on what the Metaverse modes need, so stay tuned for that. Now that we're done with the Metaverse stuff, let's talk about Chapter 5 seasons and the features that came along with it, because Chapter 5 is what I like to describe as a experimental disaster chapter. And you're gonna know what I mean by that later in the video. So before even playing a single game of Chapter 5 for the first time, you load in a game and get hit with this epic music. All jokes aside, let's go into season 1. So when everybody played the first couple of games, everybody quickly realized that the movement has changed, bullet drop is in the game, the weapon attachments are now in the game as well. First off, there was no point of changing the movement. No one was complaining about the movement, it worked fine. Why am I now jogging to get my daily steps in? Like, gameplay most of the time just feels awkward. Now, I don't mind the new animation, but I just don't want to do my daily steps in every time I'm trying to fight players. Bullet drop in the game just felt unneeded, and sometimes I feel like the game was punishing you for aiming. I don't know how to explain it. Weapon attachments being in the game. While I like this addition, this was such a wasted thing in the game. Literally, we only got maybe 1 or 2 new attachments, and that was in Season 2. Not to mention how you have to wait for a while in the game for a mod bench. Epic, if you continue having attachments in the game, please don't waste them, as you literally have some in the leaks. Another thing that happened in Season 1 that was a problem was the locker UI change and the item shop. For some reason, Epic changed the locker to where it's non-user friendly now, everything is unorganized, and rarity colors are gone. Once again, it was fine the way it was, please fix it in Chapter 6. And then the item shop. Holy. It was like the one time where having no V-Bucks was a good thing, because most of the time we get cosmetics that we just got like 2 days ago, which made people theorize that the shops are being ran by AI. And even though it's been said that the item shop is ran by a human, when you have the same cosmetic in the shop twice, multiple times, putting exclusive cosmetics accidentally in the shop, and mistakenly putting cosmetics as different things, I see why people think the shop is being ran by AI, which they probably are. And also, thanks to the 3 new modes, the item shop is more clustered than ever before, having Lego kits, music tracks plus instruments with some cars in one shop. And I think that's another reason why people don't like the Metaverse modes, was because they kind of ruined the shop. Having already the regular tabs that include like collabs and 4 regular Fortnite cosmetics, and then you get to the Lego kits, endless tracks of songs, along with festival cosmetics, and then the car cosmetics, it just feels clustered and too much. Hopefully they somehow fix this in the future though. And finally, the map and the weapons. The map compared to previous chapter maps feel dull and less vibrant, and then you pair that up with these weapons that have weapon attachments to them, and with the movement, it just makes Fortnite too realistic. Season 1 overall was just the tip of the iceberg of more disaster of what's to come to Chapter 5. We now go into Season 2.
Motherfucking server is down. Get that shit back up, we trying to play.
Season 2 had a rough season launch, something we've never seen before, waiting for 18 hours, but the servers are finally up, and with Season 2 featuring Greek gods and some Greek god weapons, Fortnite somehow sold. The thing that let me down this season was barely any unique Greek items or weapons. I think Fortnite really dropped the ball on not having more unique Greek weapons for these Greek characters. Like for the Ares boss, he could have dropped his spear and shield, and Artemis could have dropped her bow and arrow, something like that. Because we had Zeus Thunderbolt, which got nerfed so no one used it. Wings of Icarus, while good for movement, was overall terrible when getting lasered due to the wings counting as a hitbox, and the Chains of Hades, which was surprisingly not nerfed. And it doesn't help when the Avatar update comes around and vaults the items and essentially takes over the season for 3 weeks. You know what we had to deal with the past 3 weeks? Yeah, I got so bad that even Doja Cat says something. Season 2, in my opinion, was wasted potential that could have been better, but I don't know if I could say the same thing for Season 3.
Calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down!
Oh boy, I'm not gonna go too much into Season 3, as you probably know what happened. Season 3 is the most controversial season of all time so far, having outrage from most of the Fortnite community, where one side likes the cars in the fist, saying it changes up the game, and the other side hates the cars, saying it ruins the gameplay. It was basically the Fortnite Civil War. This whole war got so bad that Fortnite had to push the button and release Fortnite Reload to bring the players back. Season 3 overall was a chaotic mess that most players will not miss, but our next season is a season that most people are gonna be missing, but not for me, because it hurts me the most.
You know how long I've been waiting for this?
How do you make a Marvel season again in this time cell? Literally having Doctor Doom as the villain and just wasting him. They literally pulled a Marvel and Sony move combined. But I will admit, the whole turning into Doom was pretty cool. But then after that, we get a mini event where we defeat Doom by rifting him somewhere else, and that's the last time we hear from Doom. Like, I really would have loved a storyline or Doom event at the end of Season 4 where we see Doom return and cause chaos to the map, but instead we get Ice Spice and Snoop Dogg as an end event. And I'm not trying to hate either, but seriously, what the hell? And the last thing I'm talking about Season 4 is the bosses. They could have did something more creative with these Marvel bosses, but instead give them generic stuff that I've already seen previously. And the Mysterio one especially makes me furious, because Mysterio is an illusionist, so you would have thought Epic would make a medallion where you can make decoys of yourself, but they do it stealth one instead, and it automatically gets counterattacked by the Emma Frost medallion, the scan NPCs, and the flare gun when it was in the game. Season 4 overall was literally wasted potential and disappoints me a lot. Chapter 5 in general was a very experimental chapter, and I give kudos to Epic for that. They try to change up the gameplay every season, they've seen what works and doesn't work with the community, and hopefully in Chapter 6 they know what to do and not to do, which is why I will have a video in a couple of days or next week talking about what Fortnite Chapter 6 needs. Please comment below with your honest thoughts on Chapter 5. Did you like it? Were you in the middle with this chapter, or did you hate it? Subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed this topic, but anyways, see ya.